Why is dream sex way better than real sex?
Because they come when you want them to.
Girl, that is so true. When I'm done, they done. Hello.
You ever think about all the stuff we've done and wonder how we did not die? That's not a real hair.
It's a cultural thing.
We are two badass queens like those bitches who raised Wonder Woman. We've worked our asses off. We've opened up our own store. We're winning.
We're $493,000.
What's up, y'all? It's another episode of the Movie Club Podcast where I am Trae Price. That's my street name. The actual name, Traeacus the Predicus. Joining me, of course, is the man, the myth, the legend. You'll see me in your dreams, but hopefully not in your nightmares. Mr. Shakis L. Moore. And we got special guests joining us. Sharon.
Hey.
Sharon.
What's up?
I get to do this live now. Sharon.
We're not live, the first time I've heard this joke.
Shut up, Sharon.
I'm still upset. You just took the Willa D out of my name.
That's right. You're Shakis Elmore now.
No.
Handing out straight L's.
You have joined the One Piece community.
Hey, trash. Straight trash. Somehow we're supposed to be talking about Like a Boss. The new Taraji B. Henson.
That's not Taraji B.
Jesus, why is she on my mind? We'll get back to her. Trust me, we'll get back to her later. But Tiffany Haddish in Rose Byrne movie, guest starring Selma Hayek's boobs. and somehow got into One Piece. Weird. Yeah,
y'all segue is way off base.
We always do that too. Like we'll be talking about one thing and then it's like, all right, but what about toast? Like who? Shut your hungry ass up. I'm supposed to be watching my language now. But no. So we're talking about Like a Boss, people. And again, this movie, I mean, it is your typical raunchy comedy movie. You have pretty much, the polar opposite roommates trope of Tiffany Haddish and Rose Byrne. In my opinion, pretty much playing Tiffany Haddish as shit black people say and Rose Byrne as I'm awkwardly white. Like that's kind of their dynamic through the whole movie.
The entire movie.
I'm just and there are parts where I'm like, it takes me out and I'm like, come on, y'all. I mean, you're not like better than this, but you could at least attempt to be better than this. Cause there are moments where it's actually, there are some, cause it's supposed to be like this, they're butt heads. And then there's this evil corporation trying to come in and wheel them out, turning their friendship against them. But then they realize in the end, the friendship was there all along. And I honestly felt that for a little bit of it.
A little bit, yeah.
But everything else just kind of like a lot of my problems with this movie. I'm gonna let Shakis and Sharon talk in a second. But I'm the Selma Hayek of this shit. So I got boobs as hard as a rock. There are just moments in this film where, and a lot of them have to do with let me see if I can find Jennifer Coolidge, like as a prime example of this, where she would have jokes that would just kind of hang in the air.
Were they jokes even?
The movie wanted them to be jokes. Like the movie was holding up a sign held by an old black elevator attendant saying, "Please laugh, please."
We only get paid if you laugh.
And it really was like that. That's how long they held the joke.
And they went home hungry.
Excuse like I ain't laughing. I'm on his C. Montgomery Burns shit. I ain't laughing. Mm-hmm. This is sub-excellent. I don't know if that was Burns or Trump.
Probably a mixture of both, to be honest.
I like to give the people what they want. But no, so kind of like I felt in between with the movie. I don't know how'd you, Sharon, how'd you feel? You knew coming. You go second. So obviously went first. So you go, oh God, why is it so right?
I'm so sorry.
Ma'am, could you please turn off all cellular devices? First time on the podcast at the millennials.
How'd you turn on the flash? I'm not gonna ask. Please.
I don't know.
It's okay.
But no, please tell us. So what you think?
So I personally thought this movie was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Tiffany Haddish and Rose Byrne's characters really had that chemistry that's very needed in a movie like that.
How are we going to rebrand for Claire? What is our story?
I'm a divorced pet lover. You can use mine. Sydney, love you. Love your story. But I think we should just stick with our own story, you know? Keep it real.
We can't go back to Claire and tell her what we've come up with is we're just keeping it real. We need to try something new. Let's zhuzh it up a little bit.
Did you just say zhuzh?
We gotta zhuzh it up. Zhuzh.
Don't be so judgmental.
Let's focus
And
up.
I think it sold on me for just like the chemistry between their two characters. Even when they were fighting, it was still a very dynamic type fight. It wasn't stagnant or static.
Here's how I know you're very honest, because the whole time I'm watching this movie, I was not watching the movie. I was watching. Yes. Yes, girl. I was like, where did this black chick come from? Yes, sweetie. Tiffany had to say something. You better work it, queen. I'm exaggerating, but no, for real. Like the whole time, you were definitely into this movie, because there were moments where I was like, this is definitely, because it's geared towards a female audience. That's very obvious, right? It goes without saying, but of course I'm gonna say it.
Gotta mansplain.
So thank you. Exactly. Also, you didn't start this podcast with "I'm sorry," so obviously
You'll be fine.
But no, there were moments where I was like, okay, the joke isn't hitting with me, but it is hitting with Sharon. So obviously, you know, there's a disconnect there. That's not the movie's fault. It's, you know, nobody's fault, but it's just like that, you know, it's going to hit certain audiences in a certain way.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Cause there were some moments look, I'm going to say it. They made Tiffany Haddish. She was shucking and jiving a bit. She was shucking and jiving just a little bit. She was shucking and jiving.
Hold on. You're acting like that's a wild thing to say after watching this movie.
I don't like saying that, because I feel like it's overused. Like whenever a black person in like a medium does a thing, it's like instantly they're shucking and jiving. You got to dance for these white folk, like Dave Chappelle said. You better dance and play basketball. You better get out here and make these white folk get to dancing. So, but I don't like to say that. But there's just key moments in this movie where it's just like there's a part where they're in the meeting where her, Rose Byrne, and Selma Hayek are in that meeting, and she says something.
We must celebrate.
Not Selma Hayek. Tiffany Haddish said something that made when she's like, shit all over that Wells Fargo floor or something like that, and it made both Rose Byrne and sometimes with these movies, an actor and actress will ad lib, especially if they're a comedic actor. Mm-hmm. They will have them ad lib live their outlines. I feel like that was one that was ad lib just to get the reaction of Selma Hayek and Rose Byrne. Like, what?
God, I hope it was.
The actual fuck? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, those, like, and they'll
that makes it better.
I was taken out. Like, I get that this movie's supposed to be a little bit absurd, but there are such absurdities to it that I'm like, okay, either be a cartoon or be this, like, actual wannabe heartfelt type movie. Again, realize the type of movie that you are, because I'm lost. Like, you've lost me here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shakis, you all quiet. What's up?
I was just trying to wait until it was my turn.
It is now your turn. You may speak.
Thank you.
Permission.
But you didn't start this off with "I'm sorry," so I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
But he's not a woman, so it's fine.
Is he though?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Get him, sweetie. Snaps.
But no, it's funny that you say that it could choose between being a cartoon or being the type of movie it is, because I was literally just about to say something similar. We were just watching Rick and Morty earlier today, and that was less absurd than this film.
Right.
Like the newest season,
In
where
what
it's
way?
kind of the most absurd, maybe not, depending on which season is your favorite, but it was just almost every joke wasn't funny. They hung on almost every joke, so there's like 20 minutes of silence in the film where there's just space for reactions, like that
a hole
really,
for applause,
like a whole one. And the reaction, I'm just like, what are you fishing for? And so I'm just like, did the reactions hit for you, Sharon?
I mean, you heard me laugh multiple times during that, didn't you? You were sitting like right next to me.
Yes, but I mean, like specifically, like the witness my tragic moment, right? That one.
Shame on your house.
Wait, firing you is not my idea. I promise.
Well, we wouldn't even be here had you not pushed me into letting Claire do a grab job on our company.
She saved our company, which was about to go broke.
Oh, yeah, and everything's so fantastic now.
No, nothing's fantastic now.
Hey! Witness my tragic moment.
That one got me.
That one got me.
Like that one got
That was
me.
the one.
right?
That was probably like one of the few from the trailers. Other than that, and I missed. I wanted the part where Tiffany Haddish is hanging over the balcony. She's looking down like the white. I'm sorry, white lady, if I die on you.
And they
like,
cut that.
They cut that. That's
And
the
I
best
wanted-
part of that whole scene.
It really was.
It's a dumb scene. Like,
Like-
why are you?
I didn't know that was in the trailer.
Yeah,
I didn't see the trailer for this movie.
A lot of the jokes that were in the trailer they missed out on. There's a part where Selma Hayek and Rose Byrne are in like a gym or something like that, and they're wearing like a towel over their head, and they kick. Rose Byrne kicks Selma Hayek in the pussy, and she goes back and tells Tiffany, "I kicked that bitch in her pussy." Now that would have been funny.
That would have been hilarious.
That's
That
funny
would've
to
been
me. I don't know
hilarious.
why. That's funny to me. But cut.
But completely cut. Like that only that part of the trailer was the trailer. All of those jokes hit funnier in the trailer. Like in the movie, they all just feel robotic and mechanical kind
I'm
of.
sorry, another one. Cause you're right. Cause there's that moment where she eats the ghost pepper.
Burn so bad it hurts.
Take some breath. It'll soak it all up.
Oh, that's a lot of carbs.
Here you go, honey. It's goat's milk, so to coat the throat.
Going down for real.
About the worst coat the throat.
It's the way she enunciated.
It's the way she said
It's
it.
the way she enunciated.
It was funny.
Gone. Like cut.
All of like man, and the other black lady was like strangely blacker than Tiffany Haddish in certain
Somehow.
instances, like strangely blacker.
Oh
but
yeah, when
in
she
less of
came
the
at her
film.
throat. When she came at her throat for smoking in the room with the baby, I was like, I've been in many a Thanksgiving where the same shit. That's disappointing. I'm so sorry.
Oh, the baby was fine. He stopped breathing. He didn't even breathe it in.
He gonna be a
He didn't
philosopher
inhale. He didn't
someday.
inhale.
That's that got me a little bit.
Strangely enough, she said exactly like my mom did. Exactly too, and I mean exactly. But no, like this movie could have been a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Like a lot shorter, and I just feel like it feels strung together. The plot just feels like things just happen instead of things happen for a reason. Like when they fall out, they kind of disappear, and then we have the their friend circle being real for a moment and not being weird moms that are just weird for the sake of being weird.
Yeah, but that in itself was a joke too, because they're showing that they just regurgitated the same ass thing to both of them.
Yeah,
Which is what friend groups in that kind of situation legitimately do. From a female perspective.
Wow.
No. I'm telling you, that is exactly what girlfriend groups do when two friends in that group
They just
disperse.
say the same thing.
They do.
right.
If they want the group to stay whole and cohesive, that is exactly what they do.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So
I am
something
not
new.
lying to you.
So y'all all know you're fake, you're basic, you've been revealed, you're caught, you're yeasty, bitch, you're yeasty. I'm
But
sorry,
listen,
I love
it's
that.
not
That's
even
my
like
favorite.
being fake. They're giving like real answers, even though they are like
They were
robotic kind of feeling, like and cold in a way, like just in how they were communicated
I think
and
the
kind of
opposite.
received.
I think they were actually fairly warm during that exchange. Like the
Oh.
friend group was like the warmest
Mhm.
in that situation. I mean, it didn't last very long. I feel like that part should have lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But even the boob joke of the silicone titty joke
Lord have mercy.
when her Salma Hayek and
Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer
Love it.
Coolidge, aka Stifler's mom, bump breasts. I thought that was going to be funnier than it was in the movie.
Yeah, it just kinda-
happened,
again,
and then she threw her on the floor. She
fan.
literally threw her on the
Face
floor.
planted.
It was
Every
crazy.
joke with Jennifer Coolidge in it were probably the worst in the movie.
Yeah, I kind of wish she wasn't in the movie at all, because she would kind of she took me out every time.
Yeah.
Like every single time. And then in the end, no, spoiler alert, in the end, they just have a High School Musical ending, and I was just like, where did that come from?
Okay. So this movie did one thing for me, and that was remind me that I need to go see Proud Mary, a Tiffany Haddish starred movie. That's full circle.
We
Full
gotta watch
fucking
it.
circle. Honestly, yes, because the whole time I will say I agree with Tiffany Haddish in one part where she was like, "You stopped Proud Mary before I got to the fast part. Who does?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, who the fuck does that? Get to the fast part. Like that's the best part of the song." But no, I agree with everything that you say here, and look, I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta talk to the director for me, give my grade, because what we do here,
We'll
like you
excuse
said,
ourselves.
you haven't listened to the podcast, fake fan, but
It's been a minute since I've listened. I've listened to the
fake fan.
podcast.
Excuse me, allow me to mansplain to you. No, I'm just stop that bullshit. But but no, what we do here is that we give grades instead of we actually do give letter grades from F to A. Pluses,
minuses.
Unless pluses, minuses as well. Yeah, you're right. So you can get an F minus out here, Miguel Arteta. So, welcome to. I was waiting for him to come in and sit down. See, that's a dramatic pause. Witness my tragic review of your movie, Miguel Arteta. All right. Now I haven't seen any of your other movies, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, which just that was too many words. So I'm obviously not going to go see it. The Good Girl, Duck Butter. Okay, that one I might go see because that's a horrible name, but I might go see it. Duck Butter.
I do want to see it because it sounds so dumb.
Duck Butter, right? Like, what's it about?
How have I never heard of that?
I think that what you've done here is that you've regurgitated a plot that we've seen 1,000 times. The Odd Couple plot has been used so many times. You kind of wasted what, and I agree with you said, Sharon, that they do have, even though it is like, again, shit black people say versus I'm awkward and white. I do think they do have a good chemistry together. Honestly, I like their on-screen chemistry more than I like The Rock and Kevin Hart, what they try to do.
Same. Okay.
So much better. But I think it's wasted here, mostly because the writing is trite. There are so many jokes that you try to sell that just don't sell. Don't hold on a scene. This is a movie. This isn't a freaking stand-up stage where you're waiting for me to give you a yay or a boo, because I will heckle the shit out of you. You breaking my promise with all this language that I'm saying, because you're making me so mad. I do think there were parts of your movies that were enjoyable. I think you missed the bar not focusing a lot more on the relationships, because I think you kind of you went into it and then you went into the problem and then you cut straight to the solution. So that ending just feels entirely rushed. I do find it funny that you somehow went to Fantasy Island, picked up Jimmy Yo Yang and Chris Hayden, just right off from their role from that movie and
same
put
lot.
them in here. Same lot, I guess.
Like they were literally on the same lot. They're like, hey, we need two dudes that have good chemistry. Maybe you're gonna be in the movie for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes
total.
But in the credits, like you're in there the whole time. So and that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's just you want to be so important, but you're not. You're basic. You're caught, and for that, you get a D. You get that D. I am so on my douchebag. So, who else wants to go next?
Okay. You get a D, dog. But you get a D plus because I laughed at some of your jokes because I was sad. I want it to have a more lively experience. But like Trae has already discussed, you have had some jokes land, but realize that this isn't Jokes the movie, and also put jokes in your movie because you didn't really have very many. And that's all I got. Yeah, you pretty much covered the rest.
Okay. Miss Sharon.
I was going to start out by giving it a C, but the more I've sat here and listened to you guys speak, I'm not going based on just y'all's opinion, but also just my thoughts as like processing through everything in the movie. I'm going to knock it down to a C minus because there was a time frame in the movie where at one point they had just like broken off like their friendship or whatever, broke the company, whatever, what have you. And apparently like 3 weeks go by, but there was no indication of that. And to me, that's like kind of off-putting in a way in a movie to not see how like the time kind of skips. And so it's C minus.
Okay. So now that you've heard our thoughts, this is fortunately one of the movies that were out. We're doing a little bit of catch up because we can't go to the theater. This is one of the movies that we're able to play in the theater before, we got hit with that Rona. So let's check what the people thought before
the Train to Busan.
Yeah, before that Train to Busan hit. I was confused for a whole time. Like, what the hell are you talking about? This ain't Peninsula. Wrong movie, Shakis.
See, that's how
Bail out.
See, that's how you get your jokes to land.
That's by confusing. Hit him. Just they come through the door, just punch him in the face. Sucker punch him with the joke. That is true. That is very true.
It does work.
With a budget of $29 million, this movie made back $29.8 million. That's not like that's not
It's not.
that's a flop. That is a flop. If you made back just not even a
Scraping the
dollar
barrel.
more over your budget, that's a flop, bruh. I'm sorry, that is a total flop. And honestly, I have to say, from my point of view, it is deserved because I think you've pushed in a generic middle of the road movie just to get it out there.
This movie
How
was
long
83
before
minutes.
Corona did this movie come out?
Movie
I don't
came
recall.
out on January 10th.
Oh,
Yeah.
so there's no excuse.
No excuse. Nope.
Got it.
This movie was 83 minutes long and it should have been like 40.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cut it that short. Maybe like 76. There was like a good 10 or so minutes they could have shaved off the entire movie.
So I'm not gonna lie, there have been web series by like BuzzFeed Violet that I've seen. Specifically, no, literally, because there's this I can't even remember the name of the series now, but there's these two girls and they, going through the life and tribulations of being a woman. Girlfriends. And I found that more enjoyable, more real than anything I would have found, more legitimate than anything I would have found here. And that's like 15 minutes. This could have been a web short. This could have been something so much better, but it tried to go into the raunchy gross out humor. Like the women version of the raunchy gross out humor. Nobody stick a finger up a butt or something like that. But it's still, like, I don't know. I feel like it just missed the mark. It didn't go too much in one way. It didn't go enough into the other way. Because again, I want to see Salma Hayek get kicked in the pussy. And I think I've used up my being able to say pussy quota. So with that,
good job.
We're out. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Make sure that you check out the other shows that we have on the Facebook, the other main podcast that comes out every other Tuesday. Make sure you leave a like, share it with your friends and your family. Go check out our YouTube where we have content from other Production 1200 works. And make sure you follow us on the Instagram. We post sometimes there. We'll do more. We'll try. Maybe. Like us on iTunes podcast, rate and review. Give us them 5 stars. And we'll see you next time.
Walk into the room.
Mel Page and Mia Carter. I'm Clara Luna. I am going to invest $1.7 million on you.
We would love $1 million.
But in my experience, business and friendship don't always mix.
You don't have to worry your pretty little head.
My head is not little. It's just that my breasts are humongous.